Hey guys, well, I just wanted to get on here and really I have to speak out about this because it's crazy, right? What's going on? So I wanted to talk about a different perspective to this coronavirus lockdown. I'm in Southern California and it is crazy what's going on. It's unheard of, right? And there's a lot of fear and panic going around. And I believe that this whole lockdown situation is an opportunity. It seriously is such a powerful time to take a step back and see what's really going on in your life, because everyone's panicked, everyone's in fear, people are fighting. Like, the bitterness and the anger that's going on is it's really sad, over, toilet paper and food and bread and all these things. And it's just like, I see a totally different perspective to this lockdown. And that is that it is an opportunity for you to change whatever's not working out in your life right now. And you may think it's something that's working out, but this situation is going to show you what is not really working out for you. So for instance, basically what I want to say is it's showing you what things outside of yourself have control over your life. And the reason that you can see this is because when those systems shut down, you are in fear and panic for your safety, your security, your livelihood, and that is showing you something that has control over your life. And what I want to say about that is this is an opportunity for you to take back your power and your control. So let's just take, for example, if right now you are, and this is a very serious situation for everyone, and I want that to be known, because I know that there's people, that are on the side that are saying it's no big deal, and the side that are saying this is a huge deal. But it's a serious situation for every single individual to reassess your life and what has control over you and what you actually have control of. And I'm just going to tell you, the only reason that I could even have any sort of authority to speak about this is exactly what happened to me 3.5 years ago. I had an amazing job. My kids were in school. I rented a house. I had my car, all the good stuff. And I started getting kicked out of the system, which was bizarre because I had built that and it was like a solid thing. But all of a sudden, things started happening to me where I had to no longer work. And this is 3.5 years ago. And I literally was panicked and in fear. Like, what am I going to do to live? How am I going to live? What am I going to do to take care of my kids? So on and so forth. And then there were other situations where I had to figure out a different situation for my kids in school because that system wasn't working out. And so all of these things have taken me some time to kind of detach myself from what had control over my life. And it was really hard. But I'll tell you that I took the hard road because I fought it. And I tried to self-preserve. I tried to protect myself, right? By, what does that mean? So instead of just trusting that, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to work at a job right now, it was like constantly trying to go out and figure out if I could get a job. And then it was like, how come nothing's working for me? And how come no one is helping me? Because I literally, like, it was just this supernatural thing. And then I had this supernatural spiritual awakening, and the fear and panic in that, really, like, I fell to that fear and panic. And I will tell you that that is exactly what's happening to people right now. And it literally, when you start giving into that fear and panic, you will find hell on earth. And I'm just going to tell you the truth, because I was there. And, we have to go through the road that we have to go through to learn the lessons. But I learned these lessons, and it's crazy because I see how this is happening to people right now. And I went that hard way. And so me speaking this out to whoever can hear it may save you from having to go that hard way. So I really have to just start speaking about it, because it's like, okay. So basically, okay. So for instance, if you have a job right now and they close down your job and you can't work, and yes, you may be able to get government assistance, but it's not enough to pay your rent. And, honestly, you guys, if the United States is shutting down for 2 whole weeks, which probably will be a little bit more than that, then do we really think that everything's just going to come back online? No, absolutely not. That's not what's going to happen. And so right now is your opportunity to, if you've ever wanted to just start your own business, okay, but you never had you had the job and you had the security, but you just never had the guts to do it because you're scared. Like, going out and starting a business is scary, but this is truly your opportunity to do that. And I will say that, like, when I look at my life 3.5 years ago, if I would have taken a few different routes, then, maybe I wouldn't have had to go so far down into suffering. So if you were to start your business today, okay, and in 30 days you're making more than any job that you have right now, and then you don't have anyone controlling you anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, then if, an employer says, sorry, we're not opening back up again, you're like, no problem. Cool. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you just hang on to this, fear and just sit around and do nothing during this period of time, then when it's time to go back, they may say, well, we're not opening back up again. And now you really have nowhere to go and no one to help you. Does that make sense? So it's like, see it as an opportunity to really change anything where something outside of yourself has control. Sorry about that. Because what happens is, if you don't change those things right now, then it becomes very easy to fall into this victim mode, because things will start really deteriorating for you after that. And you will start wondering, why is this happening to me? Why isn't anyone helping me? The government doesn't care. My family doesn't, all these things start happening. And then you're sitting there going, you're just filled with bitterness and anger towards the world and towards other people. And that is so exactly what I'm seeing right now. And it's like, it does not have to be like that, because here's what I want to say, okay? Like, you are not a victim. None of us are victims of any system, situation, anything outside of ourselves. We are all powerful creators. And I really truly believe that this is like, what is happening right now is literally showing every human being where they don't have power, where something else has control. And you know, I'm a mom of 3 kids, and like, funny enough, I started homeschooling in September because I was so sick and tired of the system having control and telling me how it had to be. And I was like, I can't live my life like this anymore because it just wasn't working for me. And so I started homeschooling my kids in September. That was not easy for me. I was scared. I was like freaking out. It was a transition and it was hard. But like right now, where everyone is all of a sudden out of school, my kids are still in school and we're like on this smooth track. And because the school is shut down, it's not even affecting me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the example that I want to give. Like, I work from home. I have my own business. So when, you know, I'm not worried about anyone saying, well, sorry, I don't have work for you anymore. The kids' school, you know, and like the whole hoarding and the panic and the fear and people going out and trying to self-protect by buying a million, you know, food and toilet paper and all that. It's like, listen, there's always another way to figure out something, you know? So the sheer fear of lack is what actually manifests the actual lack in the world. So it's just the fear that there's not enough, and everyone goes out and hoards all this stuff, and then there truly is not enough. So that is exactly what I'm saying. Like, this whole lockdown situation is really not affecting me too bad, only because I have changed my life in getting out of the things that were controlling my life. And I really believe that this is the opportunity for you to see that, and to change it, because you can. You absolutely can. There is no reason for you to be fearful or panicked or anything like that. Now, I will say, it is seriously hard to go from working for an employer, having your kids in school, and, you know, like figuring out, okay, well, how am I going to start my own business? How am I going to homeschool? How's all that going to work? Yeah, that's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's hard, but you can do it. Like, because seriously, I did it, and anybody can do it. And the most amazing thing is, like, homeschooling my kids now and working from home now is like, I mean, I feel powerful because I don't have anyone who can tell me, you know, oops, sorry, well, we have to shut down and we can't pay you anymore. And well, sorry that you can't pay your rent, and sorry that you don't have this. You know, it's like, then you become a victim. You're like, wait, but what, can somebody please help me? What do you mean I just don't have anything anymore? What do you mean? You know, who's gonna help me? And that's where you lose your power. You become powerless, and then you start taking on these things that really truly only hurt yourself. And that includes stress and depression and illness and things like that. And it's like, you know, the world is at a crossroad right now. You know, you can choose. You can always choose to fall into fear and worry and panic, Or you can stand up, take your power back, and all that you have to do this is just sitting quietly with yourself and asking yourself, what do I need to change so that if these systems don't come back online, I will still be okay. And that way, no government, no employer, no school, no health issues, no, not even death, has the power to make you feel trapped and powerless. See, that's the question to ask yourself, and sit there and say, what do I need to change so that if the world shuts down like it's doing right now, how will I never feel powerless ever again? So that's my take on it. It's a whole different perspective. Yes, it's different, but I have been through this 3.5 years ago, and I tried to hold on to those systems, and so I went through some very difficult times of me and my kids living in a hotel, not having any money, not knowing where to go, like having to move out of state because it was just fear and panic, and grasping on to self-preservation will make things worse. So when these things start kind of falling away from you, instead of allowing, we try to self-protect, and that is exactly it. Like running out to the store and buying hordes of toilet paper, like that's a self-protection mode. Like, what's going to happen to me? But really, the whole thing is like, it's trust. It's trust in yourself, and it's trust in a higher power. And when you do let go and trust in that, then you don't have any more fear. And yes, it can be hard to go and transition through this, but holding on to it will only make it worse. So I just encourage you to sit with yourself and see this as an opportunity to take your power back in every way, shape, and form in your life, so that no one can ever shut something down and make you feel powerless ever again. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Think of it as an opportunity to change it all around. Have a good night.